Hello, nice to meet you all. Some people are coming. I suggest that while people are still joining, we present ourselves. And as I have started, I suggest to continue. I'm very happy to have this webinar with you. I'm very excited to show you our new web interface that we have developed early this year, and I will be presenting the webinar with Yoann, and as it's a one-click platform, it's not the tech guys who's going to present the webinar, but more me, as I don't have any technical skills, and I let Yoann, our CTO, to present himself.
So hello everyone, I'm Yoann Katchourine, I'm the CTO of Octopies. And today, as Olivier just said, we'll present you a new interface, and we'll start in a few minutes, just letting a bit of room for everyone to join.
I think that many people have joined. Well, we can have a few words while the others are joining. Indeed, we are very happy to be here to present that the new web interface that we have developed. It has been a great work for us, which we have developed through several months. And what we have planned for the webinar for today is to go through the main developments that we have developed first. Secondly, to showcase an anonymization of several anonymization, and then to finish by a Q&A session so that you can ask any question that you may have through the webinar, or we will drop our contacts so that if you have any other question or comments, we'll be happy to reply during or after the webinar. I suggest that we start, and Yoann, I will let you show the next slide. Well, clearly, the objective of our interface is to be able to let people anonymize by himself or herself. Anonymization is obviously complicated, but the objective of the platform that we have developed is to make it simple. Most of our users are using Python interface, so this implies to have some technical skills, as I mentioned previously. But the platform that we are going to show you today is not for talented people, technically speaking. It doesn't need any technical skills. The web interface has been developed with our customer in healthcare, defense, mobility, bank, and insurance. And definitely the goal is very simple, is to make it simple. And that's what we want to bring with the new interface. You can move on, Yoann. I will show you a brief overview of the new layout of the interface. On the top part, on the left side, you have the menu. It has been designed to be the most simple and efficient as possible, and it's more powerful and faster thanks to a completely redesigned API. I will give you some information about the overview of the technical evolution on the next slide. It's obviously because it's not the only sector in which we are working, but that's where we are coming from, healthcare, and that obviously we are talking about HDS hosting. We are hosted by Scaleway, and as I mentioned previously, we have a web interface, we have a Python interface, and we also have the web interface that we are going to show, but we also have on-premise and SaaS approach. So we have SaaS and on-premise, and we have a Python interface and a web interface, because we don't have any value to say what you need to use. We adapt ourselves to your data governance strategy, and we can offer each of the thing that you may wish concerning the strategy that you have established. So the interface we are going to go through has been made to help people anonymize a data set by themselves. So there are pre-set parameters that are here to help people run an anonymization by themselves. And on the web interface, you can run single table anonymization. You can run multi-table anonymization, time series. You can also use differential privacy. And the web platform is available in different language, or the language of our customer. And that's why we have chosen Bulgarian, because we have one of our customer who is Bulgarian within a European project. It has been simplified. We have reduced the line of code by roughly 70%, resulting in an increase of efficiency. And we have a brand new technical documentation that has been developed to help you to find all the information that you may need. It's quite thorough, fully developed, and there is also a toolbar with a search button, which would help you to find any special information that you would need. What I wanted to underline just before jumping into the Avatar platform is that this technical documentation is public, so it's very easy to go through our documentation, and it's also easy to find with the search bar any specific item if you may want to have some information on Hellinger, for instance, Hellinger metric that we have developed. So I suggest that we move on to the web interface after having described the information that we have modified with the new interface. Yoann, I will let you confirm that you see my screen while I am doing it in the same time.
So it's loading, and during that, Olivier is sharing his screen, which we can see now. Let me add as well that we do update the platform on a almost daily basis. So the platform evolve and improve very regularly. Yeah. And you can see your screen, Olivier.
Okay, great. So the first part is, thank you, Yoann. The first part I will show you is on the, well, you are obviously, as you may have seen, on the home page. On the left-hand side, you have the menu, and you also have the documentation that I mentioned. There are an overview which you can go through with all the principal like legal information. You have information about the metrics. Previously, I mentioned metrics, Hellinger metrics. That's the place where you could find some information about the metrics. And you can go through the whole documentation and find the information you are looking for within through the menu. it can easily be scrolled to find the information you are looking for. There are also a part where you can see FAQ, or frequently asked question, that has been gathered. And once again, you can find through the search button all the information you could try to go to look for. So I will switch to the avatar platform. Sorry. Yoann, you still see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Connecting back again. And I will go for an anonymization. The first one I'm going to run is a single table anonymization, standing for ST, single table. I will perform the first anonymization with a classic data set. I present it because it's simple. It doesn't require any specific technical skills. I will select a sample data set that is possible to access through our platform. The one that I am selecting doesn't have any specific interest, but it's about it's a classic data set containing flower information. I will then first select the data set. You can see here that the data set has been uploaded immediately. The software will keep the data set for 24 hours, but will be automatically suppressed before, and this can be this can be set differently if we wish. So once it has been uploaded, I will go for the configuration part. So the software will upload it and will automatically detect variables and data type. It can be modified manually, and I can choose whether or not, if I want to include or not some specific information. Like, for instance, if I wanted to delete that information, I could delete it. I can also, for any specific reason, try freeze some information so that it is not anonymized. It can be required for a specific use case. So this can be done manually because there is a specific reason that our customer know. And like, for instance, if one information within the data set is quite easy to find on internet, I could select that this information is probably known. And if we have any question, you can click on the question mark. It shows you what the information is about. So you can, there are automatic parameters, but you can manually fine-tune the anonymization if required. So then we will go to the next step. Here the platform shows the normal mode, but there is also an expert mode, which gives you more possibilities to that can be fine-tuned, and you can go back from expert to the normal mode, and then once you have done that step and fine-tune the K parameter is our famous parameter, which allows to define the modeling space with the neighbor, because we start with the primary data, and we select the neighbor around that this data, and the number K is the number of closest neighbor that we will select to run the avatars. And this is something that you can change if you want. There is always a preset parameters that you can change. And to go a bit further, the higher the K will be, basically, the higher the privacy will be. But we give preset parameters that have to be adapted by our customer concerning or knowing that they are the only to know how the anonymized data set will be used. So this can be fine-tuned by the user. Obviously, we each time that our customer are using the platform, we have a training session at the beginning to help them and show them that it's easy to use. Then we will go to the next step and launch the anonymization. So now it's being processing. As you have understood, we are on the SaaS platform. As I mentioned previously, it can also be run through on-premise, because you may have some a strategy that implies to keep the data where the data are, and you don't want to put the data on the web, which is obviously okay. And we are on the web interface, but we also have, as I mentioned previously, a Python interface. So now the anonymization has been done. As you see, it's a whole green. It's finished, and then we can have access to the metric details. It shows the level of utility and the level of privacy, which can be upgraded if we require. Here we have an overview on the structure of the data set, which has been anonymized. You can download here on the top hand right side the avatars and the report. But just before, I will show you that you have some statistical information. You can see the black dots are the original row data, the initial data, and the green one are the avatars. You can see that these points are very close from the initial structure. You can see that there are 3 different types of points. This is being kept with the avatars. What's quite interesting is to see that the structure is being kept, and that the outlier points, which are very singular individual, are not. There are 2 singular to be kept, so that there are no green dots next to the very outliers. But what's quite interesting is that when we see that there are some points, we can keep some. There are not fully outliers, but some original or some singular information, so that it means that we can keep observation when there are people who have like not completely outliers, but when they are quite different than the others, but they are not single, that there are a bunch of people, we can keep this distribution. And there are obviously other representation, like the one that I showed 3 dimensions is the one that I show you in 2 dimensions, where we can see the 3 different plots. And you can also go for some information about different information. Here, the one that I mentioned is on the distribution of the information sepal lengths, and you can see in black the original data and in green the avatars, showing that the distribution is very similar than the original one. I will show you also an information which is quite interesting, because having an anonymous data is obviously the objective. But at the end, what we are focusing on is all the data that we have generated, the avatars, are they relevant? And the plot that I show is showing that yes, the avatars are relevant. That's why we have many use cases on machine learning, on AI, because the avatars keep the same structure, but also utility. You can see on the left-hand side the original correlation between all variables, and the pattern on the avatars on the right-hand side is very similar to the one on the left, which means that when you have a positive correlation, which is green, on the original data set, you have the same type of correlation on the avatars, and it's also positive. When it's negative, it keeps negative, and when there is no correlation, there is no correlation. There are many others, many other information about statistics, but I'm not going to go through all of them. And you have some information about the privacy metrics, and keeping all the parameters that we have selected. And you can also select through the YAML configuration for Python if you wish, because the web interface is also connected to the Python, so it's possible for a technical user to use the script that we have developed. And as I mentioned, the objective at the end is to download the avatars, but also to download the report. The report is the proof. I will select it and share my screen. Yoann, do you still see the avatarization report?
We don't see the PDF yet.
Yeah, okay. I maybe have
in the meantime, so the main idea of the configuration file is to allow to prepare your configuration using the web, so you can go quickly through iteration. And once you're done, you can download your configuration and reuse it in the Python. That way you'll be very guided through your configuration, and it will make your life easier. And we can see the PDF now, Olivier.
Okay. So now the PDF that I run, thank you, Yoann, is the one that I have run right now, is the PDF that shows all the metrics that enable you to prove that the data are anonymous. It's not creating an anonymous data set is not just by saying it's anonymous. You have to prove it. So it's fully explainable. Our method has been published in Nature Digital Medicine. One of the characteristics of our method is that it is fully explainable. It's very useful for AI use case. But the fact that it is fully explainable means that it's possible also to prove, and then to have the proof that the data are being anonymous. So there is a whole report which shows first, obviously, the anonymous side of the data, and then some information about statistical information, which we quickly went through different plots. So you can upload that PDF to show how it's private and how it's useful. Here is the first part that we wanted to go through on the single table data set. And maybe I suggest that we go through the multi-table data set. And Yoann, if you have any comments, please do not hesitate. I will share my screen back.
No, I think you give a very nice coverage. And in the meantime, I did put some links, if you want, within the Q&A part. And I will reply to your question just after the second part of the presentation.
So now we are back again on the homepage of the Avatar web interface. What we are going to do is now is a avatarization of multi-table data set, meaning that there are, well, the example which I'm going to go through will be comprised of two tables. But it could definitely be 2, 3, 4, 5. We can handle more than 100, but the objective is just like to show how it works. So I will run a multi-table data set so that I will go and pick up some data set.
As it for demo purpose, we do use very small data sets, so it's really just to show the main approach on how it's used. One of the very nice thing in the application is we can handle any size of data sets, from very small data sets, but up to very, very huge data sets in billions of rows as well. So we can go very, very wide. So don't come ask us any question if you need in your Macs.
So I have uploaded the two table. The next step is I will configure the data set. So it is being uploaded. So obviously we have to create a link between these two data sets. So it is all preset, but you have to make some to tell how it's being linked. So the first information that you have to say is that patient, which is here, the table patient is the individual level. There are patient is it's about people, so you have to say that there are people, and then you have to create the on the observation how it's being linked. So on patient ID, you have to say that this is the foreign key which connects the two tables that we have selected. Once this has been done, we can go to the next step where we have we will link the data sets. So the first step is you will create the parent table data set. So the parent table data set is patient. The child data set is observation. And now you can see that there is a link between patient and observation. If we had, as Yoann mentioned, 100 table, well, we would do that several times, but usually our customers who have very wide data set with many tables, they use our Python interface, but that would be possible. You just have to define how it's being linked.
And you also can configure, as you can see, as a relation type, which is to define the kind of link you want between tables. So here we did put a minimum distance assignment, but we have different way to do those links. So it's different way to handle the link between the two tables and to add more or less noise, let's say, during the anonymization process.
So now we are going to the last part before the anonymization itself. There is a normal mode, but also an expert mode, which I'm going to show. On the observation table, you can modify, if you wish, the K parameter, also the this parameter and CP. Here you have to unlock this button because it's not necessary for the anonymization. And what we have done for the observation table, we can also do it for the patient table. We can also move if we need the K parameter. We can also move this. Obviously, I will let the parameters that are preset, and then we can go to the next part and run the anonymization itself. You can show the I show you the Python code that can be used if you want to jump to the Python interface. And then what we do is we will run the anonymization. As you see, it's being processing through the web interface, and we will at the end get the privacy metrics, the signal metric, and the report, which will gather all the information that we have to prove the privacy and the fact that the data is still relevant for AI usage, and namely for machine learning. So now the anonymization has been done. We can go on the information, and then you can see the privacy score and the utility metrics. There are some information about the observation, which is the first table. The same information is available for patient, and you can download the avatars. And as I showed previously on the other data set, you can see the three-dimension projection, where you can see that the shape of the initial data set has been kept with the anonymization. It's the same color that we use. The black point are the original data set, and the green one avatars are the brand new synthetic data that have been generated. There are not only synthetic, but there are also synthetic and anonymous. It's not because there are synthetic that there are anonymous. It's quite important. And you have some other statistical information that you can see. The one here is the projection in a 2-dimension, and there are also information on distribution correlation that I showed before. So it's exactly the same type of information that I'm not going to scroll one more time. And at the end, you have also the same type of feature where you can obviously download the avatars and download the report. I didn't go through the expert mode, but we have more information on the metrics, like instance, at the beginning, I mentioned the Hellinger information. You could say, well, I don't understand what's Hellinger. You have some information in blue. And if you want more information, you can jump into the documentation directly from the web interface and then download the avatars report and use in a safe way the data set that has been generated. So we said at the beginning that we wanted to go through 2 anonymization after having described the main changes that we have developed through the web interface. We could also have gone to time series, but we wanted to show single table anonymization and multi-table anonymization for non-technical user. And now that we have done what we have described at the beginning, I will stop sharing my screen and we could go for a question if you have some question now, and please don't hesitate to ask any question even after the webinar if you wish.
Yes, so we will give you a few minutes to put your questions on. During that time, I will put a poll. So feel free to answer it on the. We'll be happy to get all your insights.
Yoann, there are already one question which we can.
There is already one question. So the first question is key, the only parameters to control privacy versus utility. Bigger key not always necessarily means more privacy, indeed. That's why we don't have only K in our method. And the K we have is not the same one as K in K anonymity, because it's more to fine-tune how much noise is added by the method, and it's done after the projection itself. So it's really done in a later stage during the process. And we also have typically the NCP parameters, which defines how many dimensions we use and we hold to generate the avatars. So we really have margin here to add the privacy, and that's also why we have metrics to ensure if we have put enough noise to ensure privacy to match our expectations.
Maybe I mentioned that it was clear, but the anonymization that we have been doing are very simple, and we have developed that web interface for the customer who have, I would say, data skills, but that there are who are not technical people. Even obviously, if you're a data scientist, it's quite easy to use a Python interface. But if you are, for instance, I don't know, head of HR, there is a quite low chance that you have been a data scientist before. But it's not because that you are not technically speaking skilled that you don't have any need. So that's why we have developed that web interface to help people who are not technical to use safely data for any specific use case. Like, for instance, the one that I mentioned about human resources. You may want to make some statistic on HR information, which are very sensible because you're talking about income, you're talking about the different person, you're talking about male and female, and that can be obviously some sensitive use case. So that's definitely for this type of person that we have developed anonymization to make it simple and not let anonymization being used only by technical skilled guys.
I can see there is another question. What is the business model with the web interface, monthly fees or pay-per-job? Right now, we did choose to have a licensing model, so it's more monthly fees. And we did that choice because we don't want to limit the number of iterations you do while tuning your job. That's why you can do as much job as you want to have the best result possible. So that's really a choice from our side to not do a pay-per-job approach for now.
And I just wanted to add something which is on the screen, so it's probably obvious, sorry if you have already seen it, but we are very confident with our web interface, and we enable people who would like to try and see, like if I were you, that's what I would try to do. If you want to go for a trial, you can go for 1 month free trial. There is a QR code that you can scan, and please do not hesitate to try it. I think it's definitely the best way to show the value, and our objective is obviously to make it simple and to make it used by all type of peoples. It's obvious that some use case will be more complex and will require technical skills, but there are many use cases that can be run by non-technical guys. That the proof is that I have been able to run anonymization, and I am not data scientist at all.
So in the meantime, once we are waiting for a few more questions, we did push a poll to see if the web clients meets your new expectations. So feel free to fill that, and even to ask questions if we didn't answer all your questions yet. We can see there is other question as well. Is avatarization powerful for identity protection? How well does it do for attribute disclosures? Again, it is done during the projection step. So as we do the projection, we do protect and choose how much each attribute is protected, because as the protection is really protecting all the correlations, attributes which have very low impact within those correlations are more noise added on them. So the more an attribute might identify someone, because the more it make it unique, the more it will be having noise added on it. So the more it will be protected as well. And as Olivier said a bit earlier, if we have outliers, they will be even more protected to ensure that they are not disclosed. And on the second part of the question is, would it be possible to elaborate more on being synthetic and does not mean being anonymized? As we said, when we tune the anonymization, we do choose how much noise we are adding using typically the K parameters. But indeed, if we put too few noise, if we don't put enough noise, then it might be possible to re-identify. So that's why we're not anonymized anymore, but then we can really be more on the synthetic aspects, let's say. And finally, we can see it in a way that our product does generate as basis one avatar for each original row. So we can generate one synthetic data for one originals, but we can go way further and generate several avatars for each originals as well. So that's why we became synthetic. It's really having a data set of avatars is really more like having a new sample of your original data. So it's not just adding noise of your original data. It's modelizing what's the trend behind the data set and generating a new data set on those.
The focus that we took for the webinar was more focused on personal data, but as you have seen, the example that I took on the first anonymization was about flower. So it's obviously just for showcase, but what's important to bear in mind that is that the anonymization method can be used for personal data, but it can also be used for sensitive data. We have many use cases where we use anonymization method to protect sensitive data and be able to access easily to data sources for machine learning use case. So it works for, that's what I wanted to do, to say, sorry, for personal, but also sensitive data to desensibilize, sorry. There is also a use case that we have very commonly is to enhance or increase data set volume, which is very useful for training machine learning models to have more data quicker and at a lower price. And then what we can also do is audit, and then, which means measuring the privacy that we generate. So we can do it with the metric that we showed, but we can also use our metric to show and describe the quality of the protection that you bring with some specific measure that you would have internally.
Yeah, and we have other question as well. One of the question is if the data has not been well prepared and cannot be anonymized, does the platform indicate it through a warning message? It might depend. If the file is fully wrong, you will be rejected as an invalid file has been provided. But yeah, the platform should guide you through why your file is not valid. And if it's not the case, but because it still might happen, feel free to reach us, and we'll obviously help you there. And another question is, can we anonymize pixels in satellite images via Avatar? So the answer is yes, but it has to go through additional steps to do this. Because today, to handle images, we go through feature extraction first. This step of feature extraction require a huge expertise, which often a customer have because it's their data and it's really related to the kind of data. But we can definitely anonymize images in that scenario, but with some constraints.
I think we are close to the end. I think we have some questions which we have launched. We have some question you can answer in. Yoann, can you describe what the question are?
Yeah, we didn't answer the question. Maybe just to finish on the images. One of the reasons why we don't handle images directly as is and we go through a feature extraction step is mostly because there is no regulations around anonymization of text or images as is right now. So going through feature extractions allow us to fall back to a structure format which has a regulation there. So we're choosing which data we store to generate new images, and using that we can ensure a level of privacy on those generated data. Yeah, go on, Olivier, sorry.
I just wanted to say that we have launched a, sorry, I'm looking for the word. Yeah, sorry, a survey that you can answer. So can you see the survey and the question that we have launched? You can reply to the survey. We are starting to have some results. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to showcase the presentation, and please don't hesitate to get back to us, and don't hesitate to ask for the free trial. And I'm very glad to answer any other question for within the coming days. Thank you very much to you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for your attention. Bye.